There are 10 essential ingredients of successful change if you want to be the 1 in 8 change initiatives, business strategies, mergers or acquisitions that succeed, that actually deliver what they set out to achieve. And here are the 10 reasons, and they are chapters 11 to 20, surprisingly, in the Change Catalyst. Number 1 is a strong, committed, aligned and unwavering leadership team. Now that could be the leadership team that you put together for your change initiative. It could be the leadership team for your division, your department or the entire business. But the entire team needs to be together, needs to be committed and needs to be unwavering in its desire and its commitment to deliver the outcomes. The second essential ingredient for successful change is complete clarity about what you are trying to achieve and why. So that's the numbers of what we're trying to achieve. Again, easy in financial services, but also the narrative. What's going to be good about this change? What does the world look like? What does your team look like? Your department look like? The company look like after the change? And also don't forget why. Why is this change necessary? And for that, you need to appeal to people's emotions. They need to know what's in it for them, not just the logical part of why we should be doing this, but the emotional part of why we should be doing this. Another essential ingredient is a laser-like focus on the outcomes. Process is important, but outcomes are everything. The fourth essential ingredient of successful change is a detailed understanding of the implications of the change. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We need to understand what the consequences of this decision actually are. And I highly recommend that you engage as many people as possible in identifying what could possibly go wrong and what the consequences and implications of this change are. That way, you'll not only find the change barriers, you'll be able to work on overcoming them before you even start. The fifth essential ingredient is to find the emotional triggers. You've got to remember that emotion is 4 times stronger than logic. So you need to find the emotional triggers for groups of people that you need to change the way that they work, and also for individuals. And we all have our own personal emotional triggers. And this is where your people managers will come in and will actually be crucial in the success of your change initiative. The sixth is a genuine engagement of people at all levels. And that, I mean genuine engagement, and that means listening. Because often we listen to reply, not listen to understand. And we need to listen and even adapt the strategy or the tactics accordingly. Because everyone not only needs to buy into the change, but completely embrace the change and the new ways of working. The seventh essential ingredient are clear accountabilities, responsibilities, and decision-making. That sounds obvious, but actually I've seen so many change initiatives where those things are just not clear. And they also need to be commensurate with your culture and the size of the change. There's no point having a wonderful big Prince 2 type process if it's only a small change that you're doing. So accountabilities, responsibilities, and decision-making all clear. The eighth is a change process that includes a pause for reflection. Things change. Change happens, as Forrest Gump should have said. Change happens and things change. So you need to actually build in a pause for reflection to say, is this outcome, is this process, is this direction still valid? And if the answer is no, that's a good thing. And so politically build in a pause for reflection, knowing that that phenomenon of the momentum we talked about in the last video will always happen. The ninth reason, essential ingredient for sustainable change, is establishing an enabling and change-ready culture. So your people need to be ready, willing and able to embrace new ways of working and also suggest new ways of working. And they're 2 very different things. And lastly, you need a change catalyst to drive delivery. What is a change catalyst, I hear you ask? Well, in the book I describe it as being a business person with high EQ and a fair amount of IQ that is able to gain the trust of both the leaders and the employees alike. But it's someone who is focused on outcomes. You need a project manager who's focused on process, and that's where their skill lies. You need a change catalyst who's focused on outcomes, and that's where their skill lies. In fact, I think one is the yin to another's yang. You actually need both. But since writing the book, I've also thought that actually we can all be change catalysts as long as we focus on the outcomes that we are trying to achieve.